What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. We got some breaking UFC news. Actually, a lot. I haven't done this in a minute. Some of the shit is old, but I just wanted to talk about it. But the most recent breaking UFC news is Dan Hooker versus Claudio Puelles. I just saw it on Dan Hooker's fucking IG, or was it Claudio's IG? I think I saw it on there. But man, what a fucking fight! I like the fight actually. I thought it was actually gonna be Arman. I really thought it was gonna be Arman Sarukian, but it would be Dan Hooker returning to Madison Square Garden against Claudio Puelles. This is a good fight for him. I think stylistically, he matches up well with Claudio. Claudio, I've always been a big fan of him, so this is kind of like both my boys going at it. But I got big love for Dan, so you already know I'm Team Dan till I die. I think stylistically, Claudio's super tough. Dan is super tough. Claudio's always improving. He's a young prospect, but he has holes in his game that he has to fix. Dan has become somewhat of a vet in the game, even though he's still young in his prime. I know some people feel like he's done and the war's caught up to him. I don't think so. I just think the division is super tough at 155, and he's had some hard fights lately. And then also, you know, he had a really big cut against Arnold Allen, and I think when you look at the matchup on paper, Arnold shouldn't have done what he did, but it happened. Like the knockout, it shouldn't have happened in my opinion, because Arnold's never shown that kind of power. But I mean, he got caught. He did drop Arnold. You know, I know it's not something to brag about because he did get knocked out, but he dropped him a little bit. But hey, it is what it is. Arnold had a great night that night, so hats off to him. But in my humble opinion, that doesn't happen at 155. That doesn't happen if Dan doesn't cut that weight. So, I mean, it was Dan's mistake to even take that fight. But hey, I mean, he made that mistake, so good on Allen. But against Puelles, I mean, Puelles, he's kind of like. He's kind of like a Dan Hooker almost if he just did jiu-jitsu primarily. He's a really tough guy. He can take a beating. So that's why I like this fight. He's gotten a lot better with Sanford MMA or Kill Cliff FC or whatever they're called now. I like Sanford, so I'm going to keep calling him Sanford. That new name they got is I mean, it is what it is. But he's gotten a lot better there. With that Henry Hoof Dutch kickboxing style. So striking's gotten a lot better. But I remember when his old fights, he had this one fight back in the day. I forgot the guy's name he fought, but he got his ass whooped the whole entire fucking fight. He was getting beat up. And then he found a heel hook out of nowhere. And I think the last round. So ever since then, I've had a lot of respect for him. I haven't picked against him since then. I picked him against that punk Jordan Levitt when everyone was picking Jordan Levitt. And he completely sunned him. So that was awesome by him. I picked him against Clay Guida. He had a really great performance against Clay Guida, submitted him. So he's looked really good. And oh yeah, he beat Gudis Macher too, another guy. So he's always looked really good. But I just feel like against Dan has good grappling. I know Islam submitted him, but he has good grappling. Against Gilbert Burns, I mean, he showed his grappling. I know people are going to say, oh, the weight cut, but still, he beat Burns. Against Burns, he showed his grappling. He's always had good grappling. It's not the greatest in the world, but it is good. I think if he sprawls and brawls, I think he's going to be the better kickboxer, the better striker. He keeps the distance. If he's defensively sound, attacks the leg, almost like the Nasser Haskarov fight, he should win this fight. It's an easy fight for Dan, and I got Hooker here by decision. Then there's some next fights. Next up, Tony Ferguson versus Liji Lang, UFC 279 co-main event. You know, they promised us a really big fight at UFC 279, and I don't shit on cards, y'all. I really don't. I don't talk trash about UFC cards. I'm not like, I mean, respect to MMA Guru, right? I got no issue with him. He do him, but I think he kind of like attacks a lot of UFC cards just because, all right? He doesn't really just sit down and enjoy it. But this fucking pay-per-view, I can't give you a good excuse for it. It is fucking garbage. All right? Tony Ferguson versus Liji Lang is a good main card opener. It is not a co-main event that they promised us. They said a big co-main event. If this is the co-main event they promised us, we should get our fucking promise back. Okay? We should get a fucking refund for the promise, right? You know what I'm saying? That is fucked up. All right? It's a good fight. I'm not saying it's a bad fight, but that isn't the co-main event we deserve. You know, fuck that. That is not right.
they playing games. If it was Dustin Poirier versus Michael Chandler, I would have been okay with it. But Tony fucking Ferguson versus Lee? Are you fucking crazy? He's coming off 2 knockouts. Or not 2 knockouts. He's coming off a knockout loss against Chandler. Lee's coming off a knockout win, which was good for him, against a 37-year-old fucking kung fu dude, right? So it's like, come on, man. I like Lee a lot. I think it's gonna be a good fight. Tony hasn't lost at welterweight, so it's gonna be something good on Lee's resume, and Tony might win this. You never know. There's a part of me that thinks he has a chance in this fight. A lot of people aren't giving it to him. I'm probably going to pick Lee, but I wouldn't be surprised if Tony found a way to win. That Neil Magny loss still does not sit right with me. I kind of judge Lee off of that a lot, so it is what it is. But, Magny had to wrestle. I don't know if Tony's going to do that. But, yeah, it's going to be interesting. And Tony, at welterweight, he knocked out a lot of people, man. It was on tough, though, but still, he had a lot of knockouts at welterweight. So, it might be interesting. Maybe Tony might have power at 170, but it's an interesting fight. But yeah, but last but not least, I save this for last. There is rumors. There is rumor that the UFC wants to make Shavkat Monov versus Stephen Thompson. I love this fight for Shavkat. This is a great fight for Shavkat. They are building Shavkat up, bro. And he, step by step, he is building up his resume. He is working harder than the privileged Khamzat Chimaev, the undeserving Khamzat Chimaev. That man fought Reese McKee. Who else? What's his name? Oh my God, I forgot the guy's name. The big guy, at middleweight. Not GM3, the other guy. John Phillips. He fought John Phillips and Reese McKee. Now, GM3 is a good win. I give him that. But that is horrible. Shavkat. Now, let's talk about Shavkat. Right? Shavkat's fought Alex Oliveira. Then he fought, I forgot the Brazilian guy's name, but the one that beat Gilbert Burns, right, back in the day. He fought that guy, right? Carlston Minus. All right, is that his? Or I called him Carlston Minus. Carlston Harris. Fought him. Or Harrison, right? Or some shit like that. Whooped him, right? Neil Magny, not Stephen Thompson. The resume keeps building. You start to notice the privilege in the UFC, and you will see it. You will see it. But Shavkat will put balance to the welterweight division and slice and slay the evil Khamzat Chimaev. Kazakhstan will reign supreme once again. I fuck with Shavkat a lot. I actually like him a lot. He's my secret weapon against Chimaev if Chimaev somehow gets that belt. But hey, it is what it is. It's that dude never touching gold. But hey, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Love y'all and goodbye. Oh yeah, Shavkat's gonna win this fight against Stephen Thompson. I didn't even break that fight down really, cause what is there to break? He can wrestle. I don't think he's gonna strike with Thompson. He's not stupid. He'll take him down, ground and pound him, and smash him. Probably, I don't know, man. I think he might finish him. He could finish Thompson. I could see it. Maybe 3 rounds. 4. Thompson's tough. I give him that. Thompson's a tough dude, man. He's old. Thompson should have fought a striker. Thompson can still strike with the best of them. I still think if it's just a kickboxing match in there, no wrestling, he's one of the better strikers in the division. He is the best striker in the division still. You saw what he did to both Jeff Neal and Vicente Luque. I think that was that back to back. I think he did that back to back too. So he's still that guy. But he can't wrestle no more. His takedown defense is not the same what it used to be. But I mean, it is what it is. I can't wait for the fucking fight if it does happen. All these fights are great fights. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. Like, comment, and share the video. Let's get this eBay Fight Prediction Nation growing. Love y'all and goodbye.